Hello everyone, Niklsun here, and welcome to the first annual San Diego Comic-Con preview show. Now, for those of you who have been watching my show since I started it, last year I was actually down in LA while San Diego Comic-Con was going on, so I was covering everything from my hotel room when I was down there. Luckily this year I am able to stay in my studio. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be covering all of the panels, or at least giving a preview as to all the panels that I'm going to be talking about over the next couple of days. So I'm going to cover Thursday, Friday, and Saturday panels, the ones that at least are going to be talked about on the show. And also, if big news comes out from, let's say, the Game of Thrones panel or anything like that, then I might actually do a little bit of an episode on that as well. But these are going to be the 9 topics that I'm going to be covering over the next several days. So without any further ado, let's get started. So Thursday morning, Open Road Films has the first big film panel, which is going to be at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in Hall H. Now, they have not released any information about any of the films that they're going to be talking about. It is, I believe, an hour-and-a-half long panel, or it might only be an hour-long panel. I'm not 100% sure on that, but there are a couple of films that I can actually see them talking about. The one main one that stands out is the upcoming adaptation of Max Steel. So now, I'm not that familiar with it, but based on the images that came out a couple of months back, this actually looks like it could be a really interesting little film. It's basically about this teenager who also has, it's either a robot or it's some kind of mechanized suit or something like that. And his name is Max, and then the robot's name is Steel, and they actually combine to make this superhero known as Max Steel. Now, I'm reminded of, what movie was it? I want to say it starred the kid from Jurassic Park. It was in like the mid-90s, like 96, 97. But it might have been a different kid, where he had like this alien suit that he would be able to get into, and then he'd be able to be like this normal-sized crime-fighting thing. And it was kind of a stupid movie, but the pictures that have come out about this film make it look like it could be really cool. So I'm hoping we get some more information about that movie tomorrow morning. We might also get extended looks at both Rock the Casbah, which is the upcoming kind of musical comedy drama starring Bill Murray. It's got Bruce Willis is in it, Zooey Deschanel is in it. Who else is in it? Dude from Eastbound and Down. Danny McBride. Danny McBride's also in the film. It actually looks kind of funny. If you watch the trailer didn't really strike the way that I originally wanted it to, but I saw some redeeming qualities in there, so maybe we'll get a little bit more information. The one out of all these, though, that I think could blow the roof off of, just because I prefer his types of films. Some of his films are my favorite. Oliver Stone's new movie, Snowden. Now, one of my all-time favorites. It flips back and forth between JFK and Apollo 13 as to what's my actual favorite film of all time. And I absolutely love JFK. I also love Platoon, Born on the 4th of July, Wall Street. I mean, all of his films from that era were incredible. Now, he's kind of fallen off a little bit in more recent years, and I think part of the reason is because of the political correctness of the film industry. And he's really not to express his own viewpoints the way that he normally used to be. So I don't know if that's one of the things that's kind of gone against him. Either that or he has just lost his luster. I actually really did enjoy, I believe it's called Savages. I thought that movie had a lot of promise. It just kind of fell apart at the end. But yeah, I mean, this starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Snowden. I mean, as the whistleblower himself. This is prime territory for Oliver Stone to get back to the swing of things. So I really do hope that we get something from that. So as far as I'm aware, I don't know of any other films that they could be showing off, at least unless they have something ready for 999, which could be a really intriguing little film. So, I mean, we're still got to wait till tomorrow morning to get the full gambit on this, but as it stands right now, this could be a pretty interesting little panel. Not a lot of big news coming out of it, but it could be a little interesting panel. The one after that on Thursday at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time is the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 panel. Now, obviously, they're probably going to showcase the full trailer for the movie at Comic-Con. We're probably not going to get it online, I would say, probably for about another month. That'd be one thing that ideally I would like, only because of the people who get to go there. Now, a lot of times the footage that gets shown at Hall H gets leaked online. Part of me wants it to be online, but the other part doesn't, because one of the things that's worked so well for other films in the past is an accelerated marketing campaign. Like, you look at, what was a good movie that actually kind of failed this a little bit? John Wick last year. John Wick should have started its ad campaign. They shouldn't have shown it to an audience like a month and a half before it opened. It should have been 2 to 2.5 weeks before it opened, because there was so much buzz around this movie. We hadn't even seen a trailer for it, and then they showed it at South by Southwest, I believe. It might have been a different festival, but I think it was South by Southwest. And it got incredible buzz. It got amazing buzz. But then it kind of dwindled down because they waited too long. Now, they need to kick a ad campaign into high gear at some point. I do believe that's within the last 6 to 8 weeks of the release. With a movie like Hunger Games, we've already got the first teaser trailer out. I don't believe that we need another trailer out for several months. I get sick and tired of whether or not studios feel confident in a project that they're just going to keep putting out trailer after trailer after trailer. It's like, just keep the same trailer out there for like 5 months. Just keep playing it in different areas. Don't overplay it, but keep playing it in different areas. And hopefully that's the case with this. I do hope that we get a new trailer, but I hope that it doesn't come online for most people at least until sometime in August or early September, because that'll really start to get the buzz going. If they release the trailer online now, that means we're going to have to get another trailer before the movie comes out, because they need to put out something new right before the movie comes out. Within about 6 to 8 weeks of the release, they're going to have to put out something new. And if that's the case, movies coming out in November, which means by the end of September would be when they're going to, the end of September, beginning of October is when they're going to pull out their final trailer, which I would love it if this trailer that they're going to show was actually that one. Depends on how much footage they want to show, but that's my personal preference. I really am getting sick and tired of the marketing campaigns these movies have, where it's just trailer after trailer after trailer. I can't even count the amount of TV spots for Ant-Man that actually went and spoil one of the surprise characters. I'm not going to say it on here, but if you have seen the TV spots for Ant-Man, you know that one of the major reveals in the movie was actually revealed in the teaser trailer, which really irritates me, but oh well. So those are the two main panels that are going to be on Friday. Now let's jump to Friday, or that was on Thursday, sorry. Now let's jump to Friday. So there's two main panels as well. These ones are going to be later on. The first one is the Lucasfilm panel. Now, they've already come out and stated that we're not getting footage. At least that's what they were saying. But there were supposed to be some other reveals. One of those, I believe, was going to be that Lord and Miller, which I talked about on today's earlier episode, that Lord and Miller are actively developing and will direct a Star Wars anthology Han Solo film. And I gave my explanation as to what I feel that movie should be on the earlier episode. So I don't know if they're planning on talking about that. Maybe they are going to confirm Donnie Yen, unless he's going to be involved in Rogue One, because I've seen a lot of articles, especially on websites like Collider and some of these other ones, which state that, you know, they'll probably officially unveil all the cast for Rogue One. And it's like, guys, do your research. Rogue One, Lucasfilm is not legally allowed to advertise Rogue One until after Rogue Nation appears in theaters. They legally can't, which means that's why we haven't got casting confirmations on anybody. You know, I mean, Star Wars Celebration, they talked a little bit about it, but that's why it didn't really go very far, because they're not really allowed to talk about it. They're not allowed to advertise it. So once that movie comes out in theaters, that once Rogue Nation comes out, we'll then be able to start talking about Rogue One in terms of official announcements. But we're not going to get anything from Rogue One at Celebration at San Diego Comic-Con unless they just call it the Star Wars anthology film by Gareth Edwards. If they don't reference it as being known as Rogue One, it might be a loophole they could exploit, but it's almost 99. I would be willing to put money down. 99% we're not going to get anything on Rogue One. We might get stuff on the other films. We might even get, I still think it's way too early for this, but I think we might even get a title for episode 8. I do think that they're going to wait until episode 7 comes out, but that would be one thing. The fun thing for them to do would be J.J. Abrams comes out at the end of the panel, you know, after talking about everything, and goes, now the report came out earlier on in the week, and it was true that we weren't going to show any footage because we didn't feel we would have anything ready for it. Turns out we were able to finish it on time. Everybody take a look. And if they did that, oh my God, the explosion of fandom that would come out from that would be immense. That would be absolutely incredible. Blow the roof off. I don't want a trailer at Comic-Con. I don't want it. I don't even necessarily want it at D23. I want them to hold off a little bit. Only because we've already got 2 trailers out. The movie's 5 months away from coming out, which means if they were to release a trailer on Friday, or even at, let's even push it. Let's say if they did it at I gotta stop calling it that, at D23. D23 is going to be in the middle of August. That actually might be a good time for them to release a trailer. That would probably be the earliest that I would want them to release the first full trailer. Because again, you've got such a gap between when that comes out and when the movie comes out. There's going to have to be another trailer. If they do one now, that widens that gap, which means Disney might pressure them into releasing another trailer. I don't know how much control Disney actually has over them. They do own them, but it's about as much control as they have over Marvel. So who knows who's making all the decisions around there. I actually was relieved when I heard that we weren't getting any footage. It was a little bit of a letdown, absolutely, for the fans that were going there, for sure. But as a fan of the property and not wanting to be spoiled, this is the one film where I feel I don't even need to see another trailer. I actually kind of don't want to. I almost feel the same way that I felt about Interstellar last year. I'm sold on the movie. You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention, and I personally don't want them to show off any more footage. They will. It's the nature of the game. Absolutely, they will. I just don't want them to. And I hope that they stick to their guns and don't show any footage. It would be a really cool thing for the fans, absolutely. Personally, I just hope that they don't do it. But we'll have to wait and see. There's supposedly going to be a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, and most likely character reveals. We're probably going to get to actually see Supreme Leader Snoke. I'm wondering if Gwendolyn Christie's character will ever be in the film without the helmet. I wonder if they're going to show off what she looks like. If she just looks normal or anything like that, who knows? We're probably going to get Maz Kaneda. I don't remember the character that Lupita Nyong'o is playing. We might even get a reveal of who Domhnall Gleeson is playing. Or sorry, Domhnall Gleeson, or even Max von Sydow. Like, there's a lot of reveals that they could do as opposed to showing footage. We'll probably get some cool little stills and stuff like that, but who knows? I mean, it's still early to tell. It's going to be about an hour and a half long panel. That's a lot of information. But following Lucasfilm is one that I originally wasn't really looking forward to, but now I absolutely am, is the Yoga Hosers panel, the Kevin Smith Yoga Hosers panel. So he's going to debut the exclusive first trailer for Yoga Hosers on his panel, which starts, I believe, at either 7:30 or 8:30 on Friday evening. He's also going to be talking about Mallrats, which is the Mallrats sequel. The panel is also stated to have guests from Yoga Hosers, which I wonder if that means that Johnny Depp's actually going to get up on stage, if he's just going to have his daughter and Johnny Depp's daughter there, if there's going to be other cameos in the movie that are going to be, shown on the panel. But he's also doing an Evening with Kevin Smith segment. So he's actually going to be doing the Q&A with the audience, telling his stories, the thing that he does absolutely perfect. I mean, that's the one thing that Kevin Smith is amazing at. Whatever people say about his directing or his writing or anything like that, which I still think he's a very accomplished writer and director, he is an amazing stage personality. And so I'm really excited to see what information comes out about that, and just to see what he could do with it. I mean, there's, what Yoga Hosers could be. It's kind of a pseudo spin-off of Tusk. For any of those have you seen Tusk? It's based on the two teenage girls who worked at the A to Z, the Canadian convenience store, and they basically have to go off and fight monsters, or monsters are involved. I want to see the trailer. It's really intriguing to me, especially with Johnny Depp being involved. So a lot of cool ideas with that movie, and I hope that we get some more information about it. So who knows? But that'll do it for Friday, and then the big day. This is the big one. So Saturday is basically an all-day panel fest. So I'm going to be putting up probably about 5 or 6 episodes on Saturday. It's going to be a really friggin' busy day, but I am so pumped for it because it's all starting off at first thing in the morning, 10:30 Pacific time, so 1:30 Eastern time. We will be starting the Warner Brothers DC panel. Now, there's other aspects to the panel, like Warner Brothers is also going to be showcasing stuff from Pan, and they're also going to be showcasing stuff from Man from Uncle. But there's going to be an extended panel, I'm guessing at least 45 minutes, if not longer, for Batman v Superman. And that panel is going to consist of Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Amy Adams, Jeremy Irons, Jesse Eisenberg, Holly Hunter, and Gal Gadot. I also believe Zack Snyder will probably be there, but I'm almost guaranteeing you're going to get new footage. You're going to get a lot of new information about the film. They're really going to start to ramp that up. There are rumors circulating around that we might not only get a quick little sizzle reel for Suicide Squad, but that we might actually get the full Justice League out on stage. Because in this panel alone, we have Ben Affleck, Batman, we have Henry Cavill as Superman, we have Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and we know that Ray Fisher is playing Cyborg. I don't think he will turn into Cyborg until at least the first Justice League movie. We have Jason Momoa, who is playing Aquaman. We have Ezra Miller, who's playing the Flash, and they might actually unveil who's playing Green Lantern. Now, whether or not all these rumors of Tyrese or Chris Pine or anything like that are true, I believe there's a lot more weight behind the Chris Pine one than there is Tyrese, because Tyrese is almost entirely coming from his own camp, like himself, his Instagram account. So I don't know how likely that is. I think he's just blowing smoke, just trying to get the fans riled up, and it's going to be kind of embarrassing for him if that doesn't end up being the case. Him as Jon Stewart, I don't know, from a business standpoint, it does kind of make sense for WB to do this. I mean, look at it. Regardless of how much influence you think he had over the box office success, Tyrese has been involved in two of the largest franchises in recent memory. He was in the first 3 Transformers films, and he's also been in the last several Fast and Furious movies. He's able to work with a large ensemble on a big film. He clearly is part of an ensemble that can draw in audiences. Whether or not he has really any influence over that is beyond the point. This is what the business side of the film industry, this is what they're looking at. He is a draw in some capacity. Can he act? Well, he can. Anybody who's seen Annapolis knows he can act. Even though that was a while ago, he can still act. I'm not sold on it. I don't even know who I would necessarily want to play Jon Stewart. I mean, I don't know if I want an older, seasoned Jon Stewart. If that was the case, Idris Elba all the way, although that's impossible. He's still part of Marvel. Luke Mitchell is also a really good choice. Nate... what's Nate's last name? Oh, I can't even remember his name. That's going to bug me. Anyway, there are a couple of options that are out there. It's just, hopefully we're going to get an unveiling at the panel. It would be really interesting if we did. Now, the one thing with the panel, no pun intended, Hugh Jackman is there. There is a very curious panel happening later on that day. I wonder if he'll be a part of it. We'll get to that in a minute. So after the WBDC panel, which I still think is going to blow the roof off. I mean, there's one that's coming up a little bit later that I think can actually be the surprise hit of the entire con. But the one after WBDC, when they show off their footage from BVS, if we do get a sizzle reel, the next film that's going to be showing in there, not the film, sorry, the next panel that's going to be in there is Quentin Tarantino's Hateful Eight. Now that would be, I would line up for 3 days to get into a panel with Quentin Tarantino. I mean, having the cast that's there, they're going to do a live Q&A. He's also going to give an exclusive look at the upcoming film. Now, whether or not that's a little bit behind the scenes clips, whether or not that's the actual trailer, because the movie's coming out, I think it gets a limited release on Christmas Day and wide release in the first week of January. Again, going back to my earlier argument about how January movies are not dumping grounds necessarily. God, that really pisses me off when I hear people say that immediately. They're like, oh, that movie's going to suck because it came out in January. No, not the case. But yeah, I mean, an exclusive Q&A with the cast and Tarantino being there. I mean, just hearing him talk about movies is, if you're a cinephile, if you're a movie buff, and you listen to Quentin Tarantino talk about film, it's a whole nother level of intelligence when it comes to this field. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. So that'll be really interesting to see, to get some information about that. The next one, though, is the one that I'm hearing could actually be the surprise panel of the year, and that is Legendary's panel. I've been hearing a lot of really cool things that might be coming out of this. We're definitely getting a first look at Warcraft, like an actual trailer for the movie, not the little sizzle reel type thing that they showed some people. I think it was at, I don't think it was at CinemaCon last year, but it was at something last. There was a convention last year that they showed off a little bit of footage, and you saw like Travis Fimmel on an eagle and stuff like that, and they showed you the orcs and stuff like that. They looked amazing. But we're going to be getting a first trailer for Warcraft. They're going to do an extended sequence from Crimson Peak, whether or not that's a new trailer or whether or not that's an actual scene from the movie. There's also going to be good looks at the new movie Great Wall, which is, I think that's the Edward Zwick movie. Krampus, which is a really intriguing little horror film that's going to be coming out, and more. I have a feeling that we're going to get something from Kong Skull Island, because they announced that last year at Comic-Con. We still haven't really gotten anything since. We had some casting, but then unfortunately they dropped off, which was really unfortunate. But I mean, scheduling conflicts, the movie was delayed. It makes sense. A lot of people, jump to the conclusion that again, oh, this movie's going to be bad because these quality actors who signed on, they're now like, I don't want to be a part of this. No, the movie kept getting delayed. Like, they just kept pushing it back because the filming schedule just didn't work at the time. They needed more work to develop the script, all that kind of stuff, and it just conflicted with their schedules. They had to drop out. So I don't think that there's any real problem with that whatsoever. And I do think that we're going to get a quick little, maybe just not a tease because they haven't started filming it at all, but maybe a little bit more information about the film, because all they did was they showed us a Jurassic World looking trailer last year and turned out not to be that. So, but Legendary, I'm really excited for it. Who knows, we might even get something, like even just Guillermo del Toro comes out on stage, or when he's talking about Crimson Peak, he's like, oh, by the way, in case you were wondering, bam, here's the poster for Pacific Rim 2. You know, that would be really cool. Just a little tidbit, little teeny tiny tidbit. The movie doesn't come out for another 2 years. I think it's 2017 that the movie's set for release for, either 2017 or 2018. I think it's 2017. But yeah, I mean, they might give us a little bit of that. The one after Legendary is the 20th Century Fox panel. Now, this one is going to be a big one. They've already confirmed that Deadpool is going to be there. They're most likely, I believe one of the main reasons that Fantastic Four skipped out on last year was because they were going to do a big push at this Comic-Con. So we're going to be getting most likely the final trailer, which this is the right time to do it. They're about a month away from release. Put out the final trailer right now. Get it really buzzing. Get it really going. Show the fun level of this movie, because this movie, I think, is going to surprise a hell of a lot of people. I've been championing this movie ever since it was announced. And while it's had some speed bumps along the way, I've never believed for a second any of that garbage that comes out about Josh Trank. I've never believed one iota of it, because it's all hearsay. It's all conjecture. It doesn't make any sense. And also the fact that a couple of dogs could do over $100,000 in damage to a house, you got to be an idiot to believe that, unless there's a Fabergé egg in the house that they just knocked over. But yeah, we're going to be most likely going to be a new trailer for Fantastic Four. Deadpool is going to be confirmed, and they're going to be having a couple of the cast members there. They're going to give Bryan Singer's confirmed. X-Men Apocalypse is going to be showing up, which not only means we're probably going to get some footage, but this is what I'm hoping for. We're going to get official stills of all the new characters and what they look like, as well as the first reveal of the titular villain of Apocalypse, because a lot of people are really curious as to how Oscar Isaac is going to look and portray that character, because he is a character unlike anything we've really ever seen. So, I mean, he's kind of like Fox's version of Thanos, but he's bigger, a little bit more menacing. So there's a lot that they can do with that. And there might also be some films that Fox is producing that might not be comic related that we might get a little bit of information for. But I have a feeling the majority of it is going to be X-Men Apocalypse and Fantastic Four. And then they're going to give a quick little thing about Deadpool, maybe a little sizzle reel. The movie's about 6-7 months away. Would be time to start at least showing a sizzle reel for Comic-Con audiences. So who knows? But yeah, that's going to end the 20th Century Fox panel. And then the final one, which is going to actually start off one of my new shows on this channel, is going to be the WBDC television panel, where they're going to be covering Flash Season 2, they're going to be covering Arrow Season 4, Gotham Season 2, and also first looks at Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow. Now, out of all of these, Legends of Tomorrow and Flash Season 2 are my all-time skyrocket highest list. I cannot wait for these. I mean, Flash Season 1. Anybody out there who wants to talk about one of the best constructed, most even first seasons of any show, this goes right up there with Heroes Season 1 in terms of consistency. Each episode furthered the story. There were standalone episodes, but each one of them dealt with the overall mythology. They dealt with something and moving that story along. Grant Gustin was so captivating in the role of Barry Allen. The supporting cast, led all by Tom Cavanaugh, who I think he was the absolute standout on the show, and I'm so excited to see him come back in a completely different version of the same character, because he was, a spoiler alert for those of you who haven't, actually, you know what, I'm not even going to spoil it. I will be talking about this when I actually launch the show on Sunday. So if you guys haven't watched The Flash Season 1, you have to watch The Flash Season 1. It's an absolutely incredible show. Very high caliber, great special effects, funny, great action, amazing camaraderie between the actors. Definitely recommend it. Arrow Season 4, I'm excited for this because Arrow Season 3 was a little bit of a decline in quality. It was a little staggered, and I do believe that part of that was due to the fact they were focusing on the Flash so much. Now, Arrow Season 4, they've confirmed it's going to have a shift in tone. We are going to be most likely going to a lighter tone. That most likely means we're getting the swashbuckling Green Arrow. He's going to be the Green Arrow. I'm assuming at the very latest by episode 4. the very latest by episode 4 of season 4 is when he's going to don the new costume. Because he said the old one is gone. He's not going to suit up. Whether or not that was a lie, which I hope he didn't do that because it'll, take away a little bit of trust that he's garnered with his fans. But whether or not that was a lie or not still remains to be seen. I do have a feeling, though, he's going to grow out the goatee. He's going to grow out the bright blonde goatee. And we're going to get a more swashbuckling, lighthearted Arrow season 4. Which, that would be really cool. That's a really cool shift. Now, as long as they still keep it a little bit serious, but have a little bit more of a lighter tone, I think they can do it. And finally, Legends of Tomorrow. Absolutely. Yes. This show looks like it could be the Avengers on TV. It's their Justice League, for instance. They are bringing together Adam. They're bringing together the White Canary, which I'm really interested to see how they bring her back. They've already shown that it's from the Lazarus Pit, but how long did she go into the Lazarus Pit after she died? All that kind of stuff. We got Captain Cold and Heatwave actually being heroes of sorts, which is going to be a really interesting thing. But more importantly, I want to see all these characters with introducing Hawkgirl and Rip Hunter. Seeing these characters on screen for the first time. I mean, I know we got Hawkgirl in Smallville, but it wasn't really Hawkgirl because, let's face it, it was Smallville. But on top of that, Vandal Savage. We get to see Vandal Savage realized. I mean, who would have thought that we would get to a point where we can see these characters realized with great budgets, great casting, a lot of care put into it. Live action. Like, who would have thought that? I never would have assumed in a million years we would have gotten to this point where we can see Vandal Savage as a major villain. Like, that to me is, I am through the moon with this. I cannot wait to see what they're able to do, because that teaser that they showed a couple months ago, that was actually just shot for that trailer. A lot of people think that they shot a pilot. They didn't. They only shot the trailer that you saw. They haven't even shot a pilot yet. Now, this show has been rumored to be pushed back a little bit until spring, which I don't know if this is going to be like a summer show, if they're going to start it after Flash and after Arrow finish their first or their next seasons. If that's when Legends of Tomorrow is going to take place, they can actually put this show whenever they want to, because it's a time travel show. The movie is set whenever they want it to be set. There's a lot of possibilities with this. I mean, I am so excited about this. I mean, Comic-Con is here, everybody. This is Wednesday. This is preview night. So this is Comic-Con. We're back. I cannot wait to unveil or to see all this stuff get unveiled. I mean, there's so much potential for this. This is going to be a big week for news, so stay tuned. And when we do get more information about all of these panels, then I will definitely update you guys on here. But check this channel back, or check back on this channel every day for the next couple of days to see all the new episodes. Make sure you click that subscribe button there so you can get updated whenever a new video is posted. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Niklsun, Niklsun, for all of your movie updates. And also give our Facebook page a like at facebook.com/movie news with Niklsun. Keep your eye posted to the channel, because we're going to be covering all the stuff from Comic-Con this week. So, without any further ado, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.